personal trainer and nutritionist, and today I have an advanced dynamic flexibility routine for martial arts or for dance. So, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, and if you'd like to help contribute, you can go to my channel page. In the About, there's a link for donations. Before we begin, I have a spirit lifter to share with you. It says, never lose sight of the horizon, even if at this moment you're not seeing it. And sometimes when we are in desperate situations, it can be hard to believe that things will ever get better. And some of these situations can last for a really long time. So for me, throughout my childhood, things were very difficult, and throughout it, for many years, I never thought things would get better. And even up into my early years of adulthood, I still continued to struggle. And things were seemingly more difficult because I had a child coming through them with me. So not only was I in the situation, but I felt bad because he was with me through it. And then over time, something changed for me, and my life became incredibly beautiful. And some of that is the thought or the finding joy within myself, and then a lot of it also is that my circumstances really did change. So you can't believe that things will never get better, because they do. And sometimes it might take a really long time for things to get better. And for me, it did. It took over 25 years for it to get better for me. But now that I'm here, and I'm over 25, I've had a good life now for about 4 years. And so, even though it took a long time, I am so happy to be here and so glad that I made it through, because I have experienced some things that I never thought I would, and I just have this deep gratitude for life. And I believe that good things can happen to all people if we're willing to wait patiently and endure for them. So with that being said, we can begin our workout. The first thing I have is a horse stance arm series. And the reason that we're going to be doing it in horse stance is not only that it will help increase strength in the legs and balance, as well as endurance, but it also opens up the hips some. So you're going to bring your legs apart and squat down, and like the lower you go, the more challenging it's going to be, obviously. So our first set of arm lifts is going to be, our hands are going to come up together and the back of the palms meet. So we're going to do that 8 times. Now, if you start to feel sorry for yourself here in horse stance, just think that for some people, like those who do Kung Fu, you need to be able to hold horse stance for a minimum of 5 minutes. So this probably won't take 5 minutes. The next thing that we have are palms up for 8. This is to stretch the major muscles of the upper body, and this also increases range of motion and increases mobility. Well, that is kind of range of motion. Then our last set is a rotational one. So you're going to have your hands first come up, and you're going to twist your arms so your palms are up, facing up. There we go. So let's begin. So we have a twisting motion. And now we're ready for our next exercise, which is going to be a behind the back press. So there's 2 ways to do this. There's the reverse prayer press, and then there's a hand clasp version. And I find the hand clasp version easier because it's hard. Your hands feel like they can come apart when you do the reverse prayer version. So you do the modified reverse prayer, and you extend your hands away from you and try to straighten your arms. But if you clasp your hands, it's easier to bring your arms away, because for me, I don't have the flexibility to keep my hands together when they're away from my body. So we're going to do that a total 8 times. And then we're on to our next exercises. So we're going to travel to the floor. And then we have a wide angle series. So the first thing we have is a around the world. So you're going to reach around and then come up. And we're going to do 4 circles one way and then reverse the movement. Now our next series is going to be to open up the side of the body by reaching to your foot with your top hand. So we're going to alternate sides for 8. Our next series, we're going to be doing sort of like a staff position from yoga, but with this wide angle. So what you'll be doing is you have your wide angle, and then you're going to twist, and you can use your leg to offer some resistance as you open up your chest. So we're going to alternate sides for 8. To our monk hands series. So this is for upper body and wrist mobility. So you're going to begin with your hands in prayer, and you're going to rotate your hands as far as you can in a sort of circular motion. So we're going to do that 10 times. Next, you're going to lock your hands together, and you're going to bring your hands behind your head, and you want to try to pull your hands apart, but you don't actually want to pull them apart. This just offers a stretch to the outside of the shoulder. And then you're going to pull on each side, alternating for 8. Again, keeping that tension as if you're trying to pull your hands apart. And now we're coming to the ground for a hurdler series. So first, we're going to begin by bringing the leg back. And this is going to stretch the inside of the hip here. And then you're going to fold down and you're going to connect to both of your feet. So it's going to look this way. going to come down to center. Then repeat on the other side. Center. Next, we have a cookie sit stretch. So to get in a cookie sit means to have both legs bent and they're connected. Need a foot here, and you're going to lean forward. This is going to stretch the hip. Switch when you're ready. And then our next and last hip opener is going to be a spinal twist, but it's advanced variation. So once you get into your spinal twist, you're going to lean down towards the foot of your top leg. You should be feeling an intense stretch in the hip of that top leg. When you're ready, switch. And this concludes our advanced dynamic flexibility stretching routine for martial arts and for dancing. I hope you enjoyed it. Please check out more of my other videos on YouTube on our Wellness by Elizabeth, and like, subscribe, and share.